So, how have employees been succeeding with taking climate action at the workplace? By modeling corporate behavior in 3D. Last week in episode 22, we saw employees Lizzie and Carla strategize about how to take the most direct climate action via their weekly employee authored YouTube programming, and what also could be done to reduce loss and make the most gain for ABC Corp's profitability and the people it serves. And while at the same time significantly drawing down carbon and helping our planet, and how to bring this up when meeting again with CEO Dave. Now, as our Taking Climate Action megastory continues to unfold, let's see how Lizzie connects with CEO and what she gets him to consider and do. So here we go. Here is part 7.
Hi, Lizzie. It's great to see you again. Have a seat.
Hi, Dave. Likewise, it's great to see you again as well, and gladly.
How have those workshops and courses with New World Communications been going?
They've been going great. Now that we've gotten better at doing virtual focus groups, it's time to get strategic in some key areas that can not only help us make gains, but also to help avoid further losses, not only for ABC Corporation business, but also for our planet.
Great! Tell me more.
Well, for starters, the pandemic and stuff going on with our planet has changed a whole lot of things and got us thinking about how we can not only work smarter, but also wiser and even kinder with each other and to our planet.
Yes, the pandemic and things going on in the world have been impacting us. Is this why so many of our young hires are leaving, and why recruiting is costing us so much money?
Yes, Dave. This is what our virtual focus group sessions are telling us, and to be perfectly honest, it's why I was thinking about leaving ABC Corporation myself. That is until you reached out to us with those virtual focus group sessions. You let us know how much you cared about exploring new ways to make gains with us, and avoid further losses, and this made me want to stay and do some creative problem solving.
Great, Lizzie. I'm so glad to have you step up and share some of your great ideas about rethinking our corporate learning and starting that YouTube employee channel of yours, and getting better at it with those workshops and courses. So what have you come up with so far to help us make more gains and avoid even more losses?
Well, Dave, what's most challenging to us, and what's impacting us all, is all-encompassing climate change, and what to do about it, and it's had us do a lot of soul-searching.
So what have you come up with, Lizzie?
What's really been helpful has been Project Drawdown's Climate Solutions at Work initiative. Their downloadable PDF document has some great recommendations for taking meaningful climate action right here at ABC Corporation. Using Zoom, we've been reaching out to people across our entire enterprise, and discovered that people have been working on great ways to draw down carbon. What's really helped us come up to speed quickly has been watching Project Drawdown's excellent Climate Solutions 101 series on YouTube.
So tell me about it, Lizzie. What's in it for ABC Corporation?
What's important is to understand the major sources of carbon and their percentage contributing to our global climate change challenges. With the right mindset and approach, we can address them as climate action opportunities.
Pretty smart, Lizzie. I get it. So what are we talking about?
Well, the biggest challenge has to do with electricity and how most of it is still being generated by burning coal. It's a whopping 25% of the carbon being emitted into the atmosphere. Next comes food, agriculture, and land use that's emitting a whopping 24%. Then comes carbon-intensive industry at 21%. Then there's carbon-emitting transportation that accounts for 14% and buildings that account for another 6%. Finally, there's yet another 10% of carbon emission coming from natural gas and fracking leaks, and all the oil refinery flaring. Then, there's the huge cost of war, and all of the unfathomable human and environmental cost.
It's all pretty daunting, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Dave. But on the other hand, with the right mindset and approach, it's also a huge climate action opportunity to do a world of good. When Carla and I were planning our YouTube programming and channel, we started talking about the value of what we've been learning by meeting and working over Zoom. We realized that we were working productively inside a virtual architecture, and we could instantly get there and get back just by logging on and off, riding the electrons.
A good point. I like where you are going with this. Tell me more.
Well, realizing this started us thinking about all the money, time, and carbon-emitting energy that ABC Corporation is currently spending on all its physical world office locations across the enterprise. Plus there is also the costly physical world transportation back and forth to them at every location. Then there's the huge carbon footprint, and the cost of all those third-party conferences and trade shows that ABC Corporation and our planet is paying for. And just think of all the money, time, and carbon-intensive energy spent on ABC Corporation's enterprise-wide annual meetings.
Yes, all of those physical world office locations are costing us a whole lot of money, but is just working from home and doing events over Zoom enough for us as a global enterprise?
No, Dave, that's a legitimate concern, but the good news is that now there are other possibilities that potentially have phenomenal advantages once we continue walking through the virtual door. That's what Art Johnson of New World Communications is talking about. You should check out his tour of his amazing new virtual office suite on Virbela, as his avatar self.
Interesting. Tell me more.
Well, for starters, let's take a look again at two major sources of carbon. Transportation at 14% and buildings at 6%. When we add them together, they comprise a whopping 20% of carbon emissions. Yes, migrating to electric vehicles and more mass transit will cut carbon emissions, and so will retrofitting physical world buildings, but what about also migrating to virtual architecture, and just logging on and off to instantly get there and instantly get back, from anywhere in the world there is connectivity?
Great thinking, Lizzie. Now you've got me thinking about new possibilities that result from thinking outside the box of physical world constraints, and of considering the potential positive impact on our bottom line profitability. By migrating some of our operations to virtual world transportation to virtual world office architecture, I can also see how this could significantly reduce our huge carbon footprint. This is most definitely worth looking into. Now what about all those third-party physical world events and enterprise-wide annual meetings that are costing us an arm and a leg?
I'm glad you asked. My friend Carla Jackson and I were just talking about that, especially after we learned where New World Communications has been going, and with a choice of directions depending how ready ABC Corporation is, and depending on the budget.
Great, so what are the choices New World Communications is offering?
Well, one option is to have New World Communications build ABC Corporation's own custom-branded private virtual conference and trade show platform, complete with virtual lobby, virtual auditorium, virtual meeting center, and virtual trade show floor, integrated with Zoom for the real-time and recordable sessions. The entire platform can be password protected, and the price would be ultra-economical.
Okay. So what's the next level up?
Well, for the next level up, this could involve working with a third-party virtual conference, trade show, and job fair platform with a pseudo 3D look. Some of these even have scavenger hunt game and rewards options. This would be great for participants not yet ready to be their avatar selves. Instead, they'd just be meeting over Zoom.
Interesting. But I've been hearing all this buzz about metaverses with 3D virtual buildings and offices, and even whole 3D virtual campuses is the next big thing and opportunity. What about that?
Well, if you are looking for that, then you might want to check out where Art Johnson is going with New World Communications as a virtual enterprise already on Virbela, if you are ready to start checking out Virbela out as your avatar self.
Great, let's do. This should be fun.
Wow, isn't it great to see how Lizzie makes the case for radically reducing losses and making gains, not only for his people and bottom line profitability at ABC Corp, while drawing down major sources of carbon. Physical world transportations and buildings together comprise a whopping 20% of emissions, and it's a physical world challenge that could be addressed as a virtual world opportunity by migrating to working, conferencing, convening, and even exhibiting and transacting business inside of ultra-affordable, near-zero carbon footprint 3D virtual architecture that's radically easier and less costly to get back and forth to than any physical world transportation, present or future. So what about your own thoughts and questions about this? And what about experience some of this firsthand? How useful is the state of metaverse technology right now? We here at New World Communications can help you with that using a whole cornucopia of resources. So let's get started. Call or text me at 206-920-8067 or email me at support@newworldcom.com. Visit our website to browse our resources and request a complimentary Zoom session with you and key members of your team. By us all working together, we can do this. So let's go.